Hey friends, Blake here. I've gone from a few hives in my backyard to over 30,000 hives over the past several years. And we're going to talk a little bit today about how to store honeycomb. Now, obviously, if you're maintaining 30,000 hives, you're going to have entire warehouses dedicated to storing comb. But in these videos, I try to talk a little bit more about how to take care of a few hives in your backyard based on the lessons I've learned managing anywhere from 2 to 30,000. There's a couple different ways to store comb, but today I'm going to focus on storing comb in the open air, so open air comb storage. Now, you can use wax moth crystals or sertan. We have other videos on how to store indoors using sertan or wax moth crystals. But a common way is to just simply store your comb outdoors in an area like this. So this is we've got a covered roof, so that's important. You don't want rain getting on your comb. You don't want your comb to ever get wet. But if you have kind of an open air area, so it could be maybe a back porch or a shed with just a roof, to where you're getting airflow and sunlight, you can just store your comb in that building because wax moths do not like open air and they do not like sunlight. And so if you've got a box of comb like this, you can just set up boxes of comb vertically. So you want them to be vertical, and then you want to use your hive tool and break those frames apart. So you've got some good spacing between all of your frames so that air and sunlight can make it between all of your frames. And then you can stack up, 3 or 4 boxes high and long rows of boxes like I've got here. And as long as you've got wind and airflow around them and you've got sunlight, you typically won't see a big wax moth infestation. Now, if you're doing this in, July, I probably wouldn't go with this method. But here we are late in the fall, and once you start getting nighttime temperatures below freezing, as long as these boxes are in an area where they're also going to be below freezing, wax moths can't survive. So, if you're below freezing and the boxes are getting below freezing, you can store them anywhere, and wax moths are not going to be a problem. But in the fall, when daytime temperatures or nighttime temperatures rather still aren't quite to freezing, this open air concept works really, really well to keep the wax moths at bay. You do want to monitor them, come check them, maybe once a week and make sure there isn't a wax moth problem. But typically this open air concept works pretty well for just a small handful of supers rather than having to put them in wax moth crystals or spray them with sertan.